let's explore that a little bit more, the medicinal qualities of mushroom, because I know that you've told me that they can replace leather, like animal leather.
Yeah.
We know like medicines, like is it penicillin that came from mushrooms?
Yeah.
We know that, already like with your guys, what you guys are doing, you're providing solutions to recycling, you're providing potential job opportunities for people and building that reconnection back to food that we're talking about and back to nature.
Yeah.
But then there's all sorts of different mushrooms that offer all these amazing benefits. I, for one, regularly use lion's mane. I know that it produces neurogenesis, isn't it? Like the growth of new nerve cells in the body and neural pathways.
Absolutely.
And that can be like preventative for Alzheimer's and stuff like that.
Yep.
There's psilocybin mushrooms, which I'd love to talk about in a bit. Not sure how much you guys can talk about it, but I can definitely talk about it. I've used psilocybin magic mushrooms medicinally in the past, and I've actually got a video on that that you can check out. But I've had major benefits from that, and I know that that's being researched heavily and as a potential. I think it's looking to go legal soon. So what are some other mushrooms that I need to know about? I need to get in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I say, the cornerstone of consuming oyster mushrooms in your daily meals is where we started, and where it makes such a difference to be eating protein sources, iron sources, really high in B vitamins, from chemical-free mushrooms that are not harming the environment and offering a great supply. That's the cornerstone, and often supporting the local farmers that are growing them.
Yep.
I mean, because those farmers are able to connect to meaningful relationships in the community. That's where we start. But when we get into details of really taking a targeted approach on our health for, like I mentioned, longevity, preventing illness, performance, converting people into protecting their immune systems, balancing their alkaline acid balance. Chaga mushroom is the most alkaline food in the world, which
really?
We put in coffee.
And then coffee's one of the most acidic, so it's a really nice balance for that, isn't it?
That's right. So, fine, coffee's not the worst food in the world, but if you can add chaga, you're getting the alkaline balance, you're getting the antioxidant to 5 cups of blueberries per serve.
In chaga?
Chaga is phenomenally high in antioxidants.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just to cut in there, the lion's mane, I gave a few of my friends and all of my family a tub of the lion's mane product you guys have. One, because I couldn't think of any other Christmas presents, but also like I knew I'd be giving them health. But one thing I didn't expect was how enthusiastic everyone got from it. Like, because all they had to do was add a scoop of this lion's mane in their morning coffee, and I gave them a bit of research about how it's boost brain focus and could prevent Alzheimer's, and it's the only mushroom apart from psilocybin mushroom that can create new neural pathways in the nervous system, which is incredible. And my brother and mum in particular, have just raved about it. They absolutely love it. So they notice like benefits after like 2 days.
That's amazing. And we hear those stories, news stories all the time like that.
Yeah.
And it's because, the research has been, there's a lot more research to be done, because there's no interest to pharmaceuticals to do research into medicinal mushrooms, because they can't patent. They can't patent natural substrates. So we had a customer who is she has children with autism, 3. She's been giving them lion's mane mushroom powder, and they've had behavioural changes for the positive that have been exponential. Taking them out to social gatherings where they've been able to stay longer, greater focus. So these kind of anecdotes are coming up, which builds support for more studies to be done on this. There's a lot of untapped benefits that just because the society hasn't had the right interest in it. So it's incredible. It's so thrilling to be able to change people's lives.
And what else have you got in here? That looks interesting.
I got a few goodies.
Wow. Is that the leather?
It's mushroom leather.
Oh my goodness.
Like I mentioned, the applications are endless.
What?
And
this is actually incredible. This feels and looks exactly like, especially this one. This looks like leather. This looks like animal leather to me. Oh my god!
Maybe it's the surface.
So this
texture.
how is this made? Like, this is, just to give you an idea, like this is really strong and really, but also like more flimsy and flexible than normal leather.
Yeah. I mean, we're really focused on
it smells like leather. What? It smells like leather. Sorry.
I have to get,
This is the first time I've seen this.
Yeah.
This is blowing me away.
We'll have to get a partnership with the AFL and get the Sharons.
I know. Think of all the things that like we exploit animals for, making footballs, making couches, making clothing, that could be replaced by a plant-based, eco-friendly method that, in my opinion, is excellent. It's like just as good.
It's so good. I mean, our biotechnology team, like our team of scientists and microbiologists, mycologists, have been spending extensive time in the labs, like to develop this.
So you guys have developed these? Wow.
Yeah. And you know, we're working with some fashion labels and things like that to get some great looking clothing going.
Amazing.
Because most importantly, people aren't going to adopt something just because it's eco-friendly. It has to be functional, appealing, and being able to match what they previously had.
Exactly.
So we're so excited for Mushroom Lab to do that.
Wow, this is incredible. This is blowing me away. So, mushrooms, like you guys have really centered your. Is this another bit of leather?
Yeah.
Wow. So you guys have really centered your business around a superorganism, and that's probably like the real breakthrough I had listening to Paul Stamets' interview with Joe Rogan, this mycologist who's like the world's leading mushroom expert. This dude's passion is just ridiculous, and he talks about mushrooms. Most of us just think it's like this kind of weird fungi, or we never even think about it because it's not something we're grown up really being educated about. But mushrooms are actually the most ancient, advanced, like adaptable superorganism on this planet, and in fact the largest. They exist as mycelium networks under the ground, and the largest mycelium network is one that spans 3.8 kilometers in the Blue Mountains in Oregon, which is the largest organism on this planet. And so what we see, the actual mushrooms that grow at the top, are just the fruits. That's just their reproductive organs, basically, so they can drop their spores. But it goes even deeper. This organism is not only just this crazy organism, but it's actually like the immune system of a forest. It's also like the internet of a forest. So in this book, The Secret Life of Plants, they call it the wood wide web. And that actually the mycelium in the ground which has got like a mind-blowing amount of density. Like I can't remember the stats, but the amount of mycelium in the soil is like more than the neurons in a human nervous system or something like that. It's crazy. And so what happens is it combines or connects with the roots of the trees, and they form a relationship where the trees can all communicate to each other just as we all communicate with the internet. So that's why it's called the wood wide web. But in return, the mycelium asks for a payment. So each tree gives about 1/3 of its yearly food production from photosynthesis to the mycelium network. So they kind of really support each other. So the mycelium tells the trees, it basically keeps the forest healthy, and it also breaks down dead matter. And so it's this incredibly intelligent organism. And I think it's one of the oldest on the planet. It's dating back, they're finding fossils dating back 3.5 billion years. And they also believe humans split from fungi, I don't know how long ago, like 1 billion years ago. So we're actually more related to fungi genetically than fungi is to plants. And this guy, Paul Stamets, basically calls us a walking, talking, biomass of fungi. And we all now, new research is showing the role that the fungi, the gut bacteria in our gut plays on our overall health. So like it just keeps going deeper and deeper. Not only like not only all the uses of it, but also what we're learning about it. And Paul Stamets reckons that one day we're going to be able to interface and actually speak to this organism and communicate with it. So considering all this crazy information that's come out, why is so little spoken about it? Like, why do we know so little? Like, I never learned any of this stuff growing up about fungi.
Absolutely. I mean, the Chinese culture have been using medicinal mushrooms.
So it's more our Western culture that's been disconnected.
Our Western culture's been very disconnected from fungi.
Yeah.
You can speak to the Chinese about all the benefits of mushrooms that they've been using in ceremonies. Chinese, for example, would gift a medicinal mushroom as a present, for a special occasion. This is how sacred the medicine is in them.
Yeah.
And the medicine, like you're touching on, the medicine is so rich and concentrated in mushrooms because mycelium extracts all the nutrients out of the trees and all the dead wood that they grow off. They're just sucking all that nutrient out of that into a concentrated small form for then us to benefit from. But it's unspoken. It's an issue that it's unspoken, which is something we're very dedicated to bringing out education packs. So we're doing work with schools, workshops, and things. There's a lot of detail to touch into why, but it's certainly one of them is the fact that natural products can't be patented.
Right.
So
in our economic obsessed system, there's just not enough benefit that can be derived from it.
Why would a pharmaceutical company put billions of dollars into trying to grow a natural product that everyone can compete with, as opposed to patenting one drug that no one else can replicate and they can change the face of the way people consume it?
Well, we'd like to think they do it for the health of humanity, but that's wishful thinking, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's the world we live in, isn't it? Chemicals, quick fix, mushrooms are intricate. They have a variety of benefits. It's a whole topic in itself.
Well, but also like human cultures have all like. In terms of the psychedelic effects of magic mushrooms or psilocybin mushrooms, which I love Paul Stamets who talks about it. He gets really mad when people talk about it as a party drug or something like this, because to him, psilocybin mushrooms are a medicine. And that's how I approached it when I microdosed with psilocybin mushrooms. And one of the most remarkable things that I found in my experience was this sense that when I had it, that an intelligence that understood me and understood my body and my nervous system was working through me and working in harmony with me. And that was when and it helped sort of like heal me in a lot of ways. But it really did feel like an intelligence was in me. And then it was only after that I learned that they are in fact a very intelligent superorganism, but in fact humans and my fungi used to once come from the same genealogy, the same family. So they probably do know us very well. We're kind of like distant kind of cousins or something like that. Yeah. And so it also, I think I feel the same way when I'm having these other medicinal mushrooms. You obviously don't get the psychedelic effects, but you get the same healing benefits, especially I find from lion's mane. So it's kind of like we've disconnected ourselves from this beautiful relationship we had for so many billions of years, and it's like that connection is calling us back, isn't it? Yeah,
you can't ignore the studies that have been done in clinical studies for the reverse of depression, psilocybin, and the regeneration of nerve cells with lion's mane. And these are some famous studies that have been spoken of a lot. There's a vast variety of untapped benefits for us still to discover in a clinical sense that is then justified by Western culture. Everything else, most of everything else is anecdotal, cultural, long-standing. I mean, you only need to have some of this and feel calm.
I'm feeling good after that, by the way. I feel like I've been boosted since that.
And it can't be ignored. But it's understudied. Which is really exciting as the next generations come through and start to put their work into uncovering the truth, solving health issues, sustainability issues, and building a better world.
And I guess that's a little reboost for you. It's kind of like, it's also like, remember as kids playing Mario Kart and Super Mario Brothers, and you'd always get boosted by the mushrooms. So I feel like they were trying to tell us something.